Hi there, it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch, embroidery, and other handmade crafts that I do, but it's mostly cross stitch. And I do, a lot of projects with specialty stitches. So today I think all that I have to show, well, I do have a project with specialty stitches. So a lot of cross stitch and specialty stitches. Today is February the 27th, Sunday, 3:47 in the afternoon. The sky is bright blue and it's cold out. We have lots of snow because I live in northern Canada, so that's expected, but doesn't mean I have to like it. It's very pretty. Yesterday we came back from Dryden the back way and it was very pristine. The snowbank was higher than I could see out of our not small car. So yeah, we have a lot of snow. And in fact, the snowbanks are high on the back roads because the plows don't cut down the snowbanks. On the highway, the plows cut down the snowbanks, and there are multiple broken signs because of that. If they don't move the blade in time, the sign is gone. Out here, the stop sign, if you're coming from one direction, you wouldn't be able to see the stop sign because the snow pile is higher than the stop sign. But you can see it in the right direction, so no excuse. Anyways, enough about the snow, because I really don't want to think about it either. Another thing that I don't want to think about, but it's definitely a hot topic. It's something that's definitely on my mind, and I find it hard to talk about, but we all know what's going on in Ukraine, and we have our problems here in Canada, but definitely minuscule compared to what's going on there. So that's been on my mind. I have to stay off of Facebook because it's quite hard. So anyways, welcome to my channel. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming back. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're new, I hope you like what you see, and subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, all that stuff. So I don't have a whole lot of haul, and I don't have a lot of whips because it's only been a week since my last video, because I've somehow had time to make videos. So I was supposed to be in a Zoom call yesterday with the monthly magazine challenge group people. Members of that group have I don't want to say owners, the hosts of the group were hosting a Zoom meeting, and I had intended to go, but I couldn't go because we ended up going to Dryden yesterday to pick up a laptop, which is not new. It's a new to me laptop, and a visit to the kitchen and bath renovation place, because we have decided, we've been here for 2 years, we know what we want to do to the kitchen, took our measurements in there, and we'll be demolishing a kitchen pretty soon. So that's exciting and scary, and I'm gonna have to limit my spending for a little bit, because yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for that eventually, you know. So anyways, let's get into what I've been working on. So my whips, I have 4 whips. A whip is a work in progress, and I don't have any new starts. I think I'm going to start something new. So I'll show that. That's in plans. And yeah. Speaking of new computer, I did download a video editing program, so we'll see how that goes. If I do decide to do that again, that will mean well, a little bit of a change to my video. We'll have hopefully we'll be able to insert pictures, and if I am doing that, that means that I'll have to start up my library of photos again, which I had stopped doing because my old computer was just not cutting it anymore. It couldn't run, couldn't open a 4th window without just completely stalling out, basically, is the problem. So we'll see how this goes. So hopefully this will get uploaded for tomorrow's viewing. I really don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to start with my works in progress. And we'll start with the one that I worked on the least. It only got 1 day of love, and this is Dressmakers Daughter by Mirabilia. And I'm not even really sure why I only worked on it the 1 day. I'm pretty sure it was a prompt of some kind, but I don't know. Was it the 20th? You know what? It was because of my own promise to myself to pick this up and work on it on the 1st or the 21st of the month. And I bet you that's what happened. Yep, I worked on it on the 21st. Man, scatterbrained. And here's where it's at. So I'm working on summer because it's winter. And I'm crazy like that. It has to, it's not. It's because it has to do with the Australians, Flosstubers, a couple years ago started doing the Mirabilia Queens of the Seasons, stitching them in the seasons, and that's the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, I'm stitching what season it would be down there. That's my logic. And so let's see if we can insert a picture here, right over this bright window here, of where it was in my last video. And here it is now. And you can see I basically did a little bit of the peach or flesh tone colored background and come up. And this is the neckline. Well, the shoulder line. Not the neckline. Neckline in the sense that that's the top of the dress. It's a deep neck. So that's where that's at. And this one will be coming out quite a lot now, because it is on my Whipco board, and Whipco numbers were called, and this is number 21, so it's going to get, well, 22 hours this month is my goal for that. And I don't know if we switch seasons in March. Do we? I think we do. So you might even see a switch. Or is it April? We'll see. I'll figure it out. You'll just see more work on Dressmaker's Daughter, which is stitched on 32 count Belfast linen, lavender, Sweet Lavender by Extrude Designs. That was all from memory. Yay me! So, the other project that I worked on is the Allison Wonderland free stitch along by Owl Forest Embroidery. I am using my own conversion, and I'm at a bit of a stall right now because 4 of the colors that are being used pretty regularly now, I am really low on. And I had bought 2 extra skeins, I believe, of monkey grass, and I am on the last strand of 6, like the last length of 6 strands. Threadworks 1155, again the last length, and Periwinkle by Weeks Dye Works, the last length, and Straw Bonnet by Gentle Arts, the last length. So this is nowhere near enough to do what is left to do. I think everything else will be fine. I do have to go back and do the caterpillar, so whatever color that was going to be, I will need to get that. Yeah, everything else. Bean sprout is a little bit low, but I don't know if it's going to be used anymore. I will have to look forward on the charts because all of the releases are out and I'm behind. I am currently working on part 16, but I've left out parts of 15 and 14 because of the thread issue. So here's where it's at. So this is supposed to be filled in with the Threadworks, and I did one part of it and stopped because if there's a dye lot issue, that might be a problem. Otherwise, part 14 is done. Part 15 is this big piece here, and it needs this big tree in the corner, in which I would need monkey grass and straw bonnet, in which I don't have. I definitely don't have enough for this tree. Gidget. I am so sorry about that. I will try to edit that up. So here's where it is now. And we'll see if we can do a side by side. I don't know when I have a photo of that, but we'll see. It's just something that I'm going to have to get into the routine of doing too. So that's Alice. Sorry for the crinkle. And my next project that I worked on, this is my lunchtime project. It's in my bag from Black Needle Society. And this is the Shepherd's Bush Scissor Fob. Here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. And quite a bit was done, because I think in the last, when I started it at the beginning of this week, just a couple of these were finished. So yeah, a lot of back stitching and specialty stitch band, and then beads, and that is one side complete. I will have to find that sheep bead charm, because it did not come with that charm. I bought that on a stash unload, and everything was in the kit except for that charm. So the big piece now, I didn't add up what I stitched on it last week. Let's see. I don't think I got my 1400. Well, actually it might have, because Monday was a holiday, so that made up for Saturday. So we got, yeah, about 1400. Sorry. So here's where it was when you last saw it. This is Beloved. By Heaven and Earth Designs. As you can see, I am coming down here to the bottom, and I've done more over here. Basically, I am closing in from both sides, but because this has so much black in it, and I don't like my columns, I don't like column lines, I work my black all the way across. So this one I'm going across as much as I can, and over here I'm going basically down in columns, but you know, working in the other columns if that's where the stitches lie. If I have 5 stitches in the next column, I will do those. I am mostly doing this in the typewriter method, which I thought was something I had called it myself. I've never heard it called that before, and then I heard Colette the Highway Stitcher call it that, and then Stitchin' Mommy just yesterday I saw that she put up a tutorial on how to do the typewriter method, and it's very close. Her method is very, very, very close to what I do, except that right now I'm in split mode, basically. This is what I work on in the mornings before I go to work, and this is what I work on the weekends, because the colors here are so light. I don't want to work on that when I just get up. So I work on the easy stuff over here and the more difficult stuff over here on the weekend. Yeah, I get at least 22 minutes a day in the morning is my goal, and I should get 120 to 40 stitches in the mornings during the week over here. And then on the weekend over here, I try to, I do a couple hours of stitching, so that ends up being about 400 to 500, sometimes like 700 stitches, depending on how much time I have, and so on and so forth. So, see if I can get closer. And I am trimming my away waist knots as I am away knotting them, whatever, so that they aren't as messy as they used to be. Also, then I know that I didn't just park it, because there was a couple of little stitches that I could use there. So there are some threads up here that I do need to work in. Find their next stitch and do them, basically. But yeah, it's really good progress. So I did make my goal for the week of at least 1400, which means we're still on track for September-ish. People have asked me where I got that stand, and that's a stand that my husband made based on a stand that I had gotten at Michael's or Mary Maxim. I think it was Mary Maxim, actually. I ordered it, and it was made by Craft Canada. The one I have was part of a scroll rod. You can buy the scroll rod, and then there's the stand that fits that scroll rod. And I had this scroll rod for a long time, and so I asked my husband to make a stand similar to that to work for this piece. And actually, I noticed that the sidebars are actually from the other stand. So these pieces here are from the original stand that I don't use nearly so much because I got a Lowry. So the smaller tabletop / lap stand is in the closet. One of the reasons why I started using the away waist knot method for ending my threads right now is because basically the wood is stripped, and that's why I have this piece of tin, this lid here. I'll show you what I do. Actually, doesn't work on this side. So on this side, I slide it underneath so that it doesn't tip over too much. I don't know if that is showing up, but yeah, there's just enough room under there to slide that in there, and it keeps it mostly upright. So they're either too tight or too loose, and so I don't want to flip over my work to run my threads under the thread. So I'm just pulling the needle through, snipping off to a little bit, and once I work over the threads up to that point. I will cut it right next to the fabric and move on. I hope that explained it well enough. The ones that are coming out the side, that's because they end further in, and I will just flip when I get to the very end, I will just cut those off from the back. Yeah. So, what else do we have to tell you? Plans. So, March is just around the corner, and that means I have to work on the WIPGO numbers for March, which I showed you, Dressmaker's Daughter. That's going to be one of them. And my WIPGO goals are 22 hours on each project, which I don't really time myself. I just write down a general estimate. I get probably 2.5 hours a night to stitch, and so if I work on it for 2 weeks, like 2 weekday evenings, 2 weeks of weekday evenings, Monday to Friday, 2.5 hours, that generally would get it done, is what I'm trying to say. But in March, I do want to pick up a different project to work on because it's my son's birthday month. And this project, I was hoping it was going to get called, but it didn't. And I don't think that I'm going to count the hours that I work on it towards its WIPGO goal. I'm trying to stick to the month it's called. That's what I'm going to do it. That's when I'm going to do the 22 hours. If I have to catch up after that, I think that's what I would rather do, or I just don't get it. So the project that I'm talking about is something that I haven't shown for a while. I was going to show a before picture, but there's no need to because there's no work right now. So I can use this for my before picture. This is Perman of Copenhagen's sampler something. I can't remember what it is, and it's not on the pattern. Design number HH21249. I know there's a year associated with it, but I should write it down. So this he bought as a kit, and I love the color. It's beautiful. They say it's DMC. It's should be DMC. And here's where I am now. And I started this, I think I started this last year around his birthday. So this is about a year old. I'd have to look up exactly, but that one's going to get worked on. The Scissor Fob is going to get worked on, and for the monthly magazine challenge, I am going to work on this. If you heard that, that was a skidoo. And this is Welcome by Teresa Wensler, because the theme for March is animals, and there's swans in here. And if you've watched Sunshine Stitchers, you would know that swans are animals. So that will get some love. I'm just going to leave it in the bag for now. And I also need to pick out a project to start for a smalls exchange. If you don't watch Kim and Sarah of Stitch and Stuff, you should go and check them out because they're going to host a smalls exchange. And what that means is that you would stitch something small to send to somebody else, and then somebody else will stitch something for you. I've done many of them in the past, mostly with a certain group, and I have some examples behind me of some smalls. Now, the smalls exchange that we're going to be doing, I'm sure that I'm going to be in it. I did send off my email, so it's a winter holiday theme. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to stitch. I already have it mostly kitted up. If you've watched for very long, you would know or have an idea of what I'm talking about. But here's some examples of others that I've received. This one was for a summer exchange. This one was for just because. I don't know if there was a theme. This one came all the way from England. They're just little things to hang, or like right now I just have them sitting on a platter. And this one came from Kansas. I think this exchange was spring or Valentine's. I can't remember. This is a scissor fob. It's a small. This was made for me. And let's see, we got one more here. And I honestly can't remember where every one of them came from. But they're all beautiful. I treasure each and every one of them. And I can't wait to get more. I can't even remember everything that I've sent out. So I think we do have a photo album of our exchanges somewhere, which is incomplete. It is very lacking because not everybody's on Facebook or has pictures of what they've sent or what they've received. So these are my everyday kind of smalls. The exchange that I'm going to be in is for winter holidays. So back in December, I showed my Christmas tree, which was the only Christmas tree that I put up, and it was full of ornaments that I've received in exchanges. So that's the type of thing that I would be expecting for this exchange. Something that I would put on my tree. I mean, I guess Valentine's would be winter holiday, but I know what they meant. I'm sure I know what they meant. So I look forward to doing that. So I'll be starting something for that as well soon. You're also going to see Strawberries by Jeanette Douglas. Strawberry Stitches. Because of the monthly magazine challenge group. There's where it's at now, and I'm going to use it for 3 of the prompts. F for, so the prompt, the acrostic that I'm going to do is friend. F for forest, which is the name of one of the threads. R for raspberry, which is the name of one of the threads. And E for embroidery. And I'm also going to be using Dressmaker's Daughter for N, Nora Corbett, D, Dressmaker's Daughter, and I will be using Alice for Alice in Wonderland, I. So, that is my plans. Now, this might be a new start. I did finish Sunflower, Sunshine on a Stem by Hands on Design. I don't have any Rosewood Manor, so I'm not going to be doing the Gayron Toten Bag Designer of the Month because I don't have one. But I am on a bit of a sunflower kick, and I come to learn recently that the sunflower is actually the country, is it the, I want to say the state flower or the country flower or whatever, but the sunflower is representative of the Ukraine. And so I have another sunflower pattern to do. This one is Sunflower Summer by Shepherd's Bush. 2 Shepherd's Bush patterns in 1 month is really remarkable because I don't think I've ever done a Shepherd's Bush before this. This is charted for silks, but it's not a kit. It didn't come with anything, so I've pulled some threads that I think would do nicely. I have a piece of linen that I've dyed, and yeah, I will be starting that soon. I need to make a working copy, and then I think by the next time I record, it could be started. That could be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 week. Who knows? Haul. I grabbed myself a little bag. It's really meant to be a purse, but it's perfect size for project bag. And when I was in Dryden yesterday, I went to Walmart, and they do have DMC, but they don't have all the DMC. But I thought, let's just start kitting up Inner Depths by Heaven and Earth Designs, Chris Ortega. So I grabbed as much as I could. And I will insert a picture here of what that's supposed to look like. So that is all of my haul, all my whips, all my plans, and now we have to do a draw. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video, but Crystal Christmas is up for grabs. I told you to comment on a certain video and use the word crystal. Please do not say giveaway and all of that other, you know, all those rules. And now I'm just going to pause while I set up my tablet. Okay, so I have YouTube comment picker, and I've entered my video, and we are going to use the word crystal, and I need to spell it properly. So we have 11 comments out of 20 on that video. Carolyn Zook. Carolyn, you are my winner, and you will be getting the pattern and the extra specialty threads that go with that. So I will comment on your comment, and you will have to get in touch with me about your address so I can send this off to you. So that's great. I've been in Zoom meetings with Carolyn, and yeah, she's one of the administrators for the monthly magazine challenge group. So yeah, that's exciting. That will be mailed as soon as I can, and yeah, I'd like to see how what Carolyn decides to stitch it on. So I think that's everything. Yeah, we will be back. I will be back in a couple of weeks, or one, you know how it goes. I did mention that I'm working on getting better internet. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about it. There's a waiting list, and you know, we're just waiting. So when that happens, that'll be a good thing, a really good thing. So until next time, take care of each other, stay safe. Ukraine is on my mind. Yeah. Happy stitching. Bye.